America, we got to get back to doing what's expected of us as free citizens in this democracy. That means being tolerant, being respectful, staying informed, and being engaged. I'm former Congressman Joe Walsh. Follow me here and join the millions of Americans who are renewing their social contract with each other. The social contract, it's on us. You know me, I can't tell a lie. I can only tell you what I believe, what I think, and I'm in a bad mood this morning. I'm in a shitty mood this morning, and I don't want to hide it. I want to use it. And by the way, all of you, all of us who love this country profoundly, and every single day we pay attention to what's going on with this country, and we're flooded every day, right, with so many different emotions. Ride those emotions, run with them. If you're in a bad, shitty mood, don't try to be in a good mood. If you're scared to death one day with where this country is going, embrace that fear. Use that fear. Don't wake up every day and think, I'm going to be a happy warrior today, no matter what. No matter what's going on, no matter what kind of mood I'm in, no matter how I'm impacted, no matter what corrupt, lawless shit Trump is doing, no matter how his enablers in the Republican Party are bending over, they're down on their knees all day, letting him do whatever he wants, no matter the circumstances. Use the mood you're in that day and use it to act, to resist, man, to just advance. I can tell you, I'm like you. Every day I go through a flood of emotions, and there are days I'm fired up. There are days I'm down and I don't want to get out of bed. There are days I'm fucking pissed off. There are days, man, I'm singing and smiling. I'm a happy warrior. We generally love that phrase, happy warrior. We want to be happy warriors every day, but we can't be happy warriors every single day. Not if you genuinely care about where this country is right now. So whatever your mood, as I end this tangent, whatever your mood, don't let that mood paralyze you. Don't try to change that mood. Don't get out of that mood. Use that mood that day to keep going, to resist as you can resist, to stay informed as you can stay informed, to contact the people you know about what's going on as best as you can, to go out into the woods and just fucking scream for an hour. I'm in a bad mood today. So I just got a few things I got to get off my chest. I'm going to start with this. We ain't never been here before. I'm going to start with this. I did BBC or some media out of the UK last night, and I said again that the country right now, America, because they're always asking how are things in America, we are broken and we're dangerously divided. And Trump didn't break us, and Trump didn't create the divide, I always say, because I believe Donald Trump is the ugly consequence of how divided we are and how broken our politics is. Trump's made everything a gazillion times worse because Donald Trump is the very worst of us. And oftentimes when a country of people are broken, a country of people are divided, lost, scared, they often, right, will choose fearmongers and demagogues and horrible authoritarian embracing kind of people, put those kind of people in positions of power. That's what we've done here. As a nation, we are scared, we're angry, we're concerned, our politics is broken, everything's out of whack, we're at each other's throats, and we picked the absolute worst of us to be president right now. I talk about him a lot because it reflects on who we are as a people. Like, we have a president right now who, as I like to say, lies as he breathes. We've never had this before. We have a president who lies every time he opens his mouth. Now, let me be clear. I say this as a former politician. All politicians fudge, hedge, bullshit, and lie to a degree. I've been in that world. It's part of that world. We've never had Trump. Joe Biden, man, he had issues and he had problems with the truth. He's in a different universe than Trump. Republican, Democrat. Barack Obama told lies. George W. Bush told lies. Ronald Reagan told lies. Bill Clinton told lies. All of God's children tell lies. We've never had a president, a public figure, who lies as he breathes, who lies every time he opens his mouth. And what's fascinating to me about this is, what does it say about us that we put someone in power? In fact, we put someone in the most powerful office in the world who lies as he breathes. What does that say about us that we did that? And what does it say about us as a people that he's still doing it and nobody seems to care? You've heard me say this a million times. We've normalized his lying. If I announce tomorrow I'm running for office and I'm out there on the campaign trail and I tell a big old whopper, I tell a big old lie, it's going to be a big old story. Donald Trump tells 1,000 big old whoppers every day, and none of them are stories anymore. What does it say about us as a people? What does it say about our media that we don't care? That the person who sits in the White House lies every time he opens his mouth. I wish we'd think about that. Trump was in, where is he? He's in Japan last night. Japan's ahead of us, so today, but last night for us. And he's in front of our troops. Donald Trump is giving a speech in front of the men and women stationed over there, the men and women in our military, of our military. The commander in chief is standing in front of our military members, our service members, and he's given a speech. And he said this about grocery prices. Go, Keith.
Very important. After years of crippling inflation, back home we had the worst inflation in the history of our country. Energy costs are down. You know, energy costs are way down. Gasoline prices are way down. Grocery prices are way down. We have a little problem with beef. We're going to get that down very quickly, but the prices are way down. Mortgage rates are down despite having an incompetent head of the Fed. I call him too late. He's always too late. He's too late in lowering interest rates. I call him Jerome, too late Powell. But despite having a total...
Thanks, Keith. Everything Trump just said there for about 45 seconds was a lie. Everything. It's actually fascinating. It's actually almost a gift to be able to lie so seamlessly like that. Everything Trump said there in front of the men and women of our military is a lie. And I just want to focus on just one. Donald Trump said grocery prices are down. Grocery prices are down. Way, way down, I think he said. They're way, way down. So just, again, think about this. Picture this. Here's the president of the United States, the commander in chief, publicly in front of our troops, telling a humongous lie like that. Grocery prices are way, way down. Does it matter? Does it matter? I mean, I can't imagine any media outlet really focusing on this. Everything he said in that 45-second clip was a lie. I'm just talking about the grocery prices. He stood in front of the men and women in uniform who defend this country and defend our freedoms, and he told them that grocery prices are way, way down. Now, again, for those of you MAGA, my MAGA listener, brothers and sisters listening to me, and you don't believe me, that's a lie. It's a lie. Grocery prices are up 2.7% from a year ago. Grocery prices are up 1.4% since January. Grocery prices are up 0.3% from last month. Grocery prices jumped 6.6% in the prior month. That was the largest jump since 2022. All 6 major grocery categories tracked by the CPI are up over last year. Translation: grocery prices are way, way up by every statistic known to man. What do you do about this? Do you just kind of let it go? Just Trump being Trump. All politicians suck, Joe. They all lie, Joe. I think that's wrong. I don't think we should ever normalize our representatives looking us in the eyes and lying to us. I've always been very libertarian in my politics. What does that mean? That means I'm always scared of, fearful of big government, government power, government oppression, and tyranny. I believe in freedom. I want a government. I want a lean, mean, fighting machine, efficient government. I fear a government lording over me. So when I hear someone in our government day after day lying to me, that really scares me, because if I can't trust my government, man, a government that would lie to me is a government that will very easily take away my freedoms. I care about freedom, individual freedom, more than anything else. And so if we allow our leader, our president, to lie to us every time he opens his mouth, that is, from my perspective, a president who will really easily then just stomp all over our freedoms. It's like he's conditioning us, which is why it's so important to call this out. Trump succeeds when we normalize him. And man, we have done such harm by normalizing his lying. And my MAGA brothers and sisters, even though you believe in policy-wise what he's doing, I know deep down you don't like being lied to by anyone in your government. I'm not going to let go of this. It matters. Again, this talks to who we are as a people. Man, if as a people, I'll close with this. If as a people, we are okay with a president who lies to us every time he opens his mouth, then as a people, we deserve all the tyranny, i.e., the taking away of freedom, that president will put on us. If you accept Trump lying to you about grocery prices, then you will accept Trump taking away your freedoms. The second thing Trump did yesterday, speaking about who we are as a people, when he stood in front of the troops in Japan last night, yesterday, last night. What is Japan? Japan's like, I'm going to guess 13, 14 hours ahead of us. Probably off. He stood in front of the troops last night, and he took ugly partisan shots at Joe Biden. Went after Joe Biden. We have a picture of some of that, right, Keith? What he said about Biden. Here's Trump about Biden. He went on and on attacking Joe Biden, the previous president, in front of our troops. Biden used to say he was a pilot. He was a pilot. He was a truck driver, whatever, whoever walked in. He wasn't a pilot. He wasn't much of a president either, to be honest with you. That we all know. There's the current president in front of our men and women in uniform, taking ugly partisan shots at the previous president. I will say right here at the outset, there is not another American president who's ever done that and would ever do that. This is not the first time Trump's done this. When Trump speaks in front of our troops, it's like he's speaking at a campaign rally, one of his stupid campaign rallies, right? Where he's taking shots at Democrats are fascist and Democrats hate America. Remember, Trump was in front of our troops, I think in Virginia a few weeks ago, and in front of our troops, Donald Trump said half the country hates America. Democrats hate America. He said to our men and women in uniform, hear me, no other president has ever done this, would even think about doing this. Taking ugly partisan political shots at their political opponents in front of our military. Why? Why would no other president do that? Well, because our military, those men and women that Trump was speaking to in Japan last night, follow me, I'll go slowly here, my MAGA brothers and sisters, they defend America. Right throughout history, our men and women offend America. They defend the American people. They don't defend Republicans. They don't defend Democrats. They don't defend people who live in blue states or people who live in red states. They defend the whole thing. Our military, by design, is never, ever, ever supposed to be partisan. It's supposed to be political. It's supposed to be Republican or Democrat. The members of our military serve this nation as a whole. And whether they like or dislike the commander-in-chief, they put that uniform on. They take an oath, right, to give up their lives defending this country, our freedom, everything we stand for. Not part of the country, not their political allies. There's a clear line. You're a veteran, you're running for office, you can't wear or show, any of your military garb, you can't be in your uniform, none of that. We keep rightly our politics and our military separate in this country. And that's why it's so despicable and shameful what Trump does. And it shows so clearly how he doesn't understand. This is what's so fascinating. We've got somebody in the White House who doesn't understand America, just doesn't understand us. It's part of why he's building a palace, a ballroom that's a palace. He doesn't understand that we don't have palaces in America. But to stand in front of our troops and to deliver an ugly partisan political rally speech is utterly un-American and should be condemned by every American. And when Trump said, when he lied and said grocery prices are way, way down, he was met by stone silence. And when he took shots at Biden last night in Japan, he was met by stone cold silence from our troops. I will remind you that when Trump stood in front of our troops a month or so ago and took horrible shots at Democrats and Biden, I forget where he was. I keep wanting to say Virginia, at a base in Virginia. Maybe I'm wrong. There was some hooting and hollering, and there were some cheers and some applauding among our troops in uniform. That was disgraceful. That was the men and women in our military belying their oath. Man, when Trump does this, that no other American president would ever think about doing. I mean, every member of the military there in the audience last night in Japan should have stood up and walked out. We don't do this. Excuse me, Commander in Chief, we don't do this here. I'm a member of the military. I serve all Americans. This isn't political. We defend Democrats, we defend Republicans, Mr. President. Stop this ugly partisan shit. Now, that's what the military should have done last night in Japan to Trump. That's what all Americans should do. That's what all Americans should do. Just like no American president, when there's a natural disaster in this country, as we talked about yesterday, asks, was that tornado in a state that voted for me or didn't? And if the tornado or the flooding occurred in a state that didn't vote for that president, then forget the aid. No FEMA. California didn't vote for me. No, Illinois, nope, didn't vote for me. No emergency assistance to Illinois. No American president, no other American president could ever comprehend doing that. And Trump does it. No other American president could comprehend delivering a partisan speech to the men and women in our military. And Trump does all the time. A reminder, and I'm not going to let you walk away from this, a reminder, we elected the absolute worst of us. And by the way, I know why. I talk often why. I get it. The Democrats yesterday came out with their big report. They spent millions of dollars and took a year. Why aren't we winning? Why did we lose to Trump? And what did the report say? Duh. Everything I've been saying for the last number of years. Democrats are fucking elitist. My new party, elitist, out of touch. They've lost touch with everyday, regular, middle class, working class folk. They've become captive to woke shit on their left. They've become captive to their MSNBC elitist audience. But man, absolutely right. We've known for a while what the Democratic Party's problems are. And to lose to, because just on its face, for the person who is the absolute worst of us to get elected president again, well, that says a lot about us as a people, but it also says a lot about the other party, the Democratic Party, where they've fucked up. And I've now been a Democrat for 4.5 months. It's a struggle. It's a constant struggle, but I'm going to do what I can to help the Democratic Party get their shit together. But that doesn't take away from the fact. Doesn't let us, the people, off the hook. We knowingly, as so many voters last year told me when I was out there campaigning for Kamala Harris in Pennsylvania and Arizona and elsewhere, and so many Americans told me, Joe, I know Trump's a bad guy. Joe, I know Trump's an asshole. But man, the Democrats look down on me and they dismiss me. They don't understand me. And so knowingly, America elected an asshole. They elected someone who they knew was a bad guy. Rip the Democrats to shreds, and I do respectfully, for how they are to blame for this. but I'm not going to let the American people off the hook. You, American people, you made a decision. You decided to elect a corrupt, lawless, cruel asshole. You made that choice. You own this. This says a lot about you too, American people, which is why every single day I'm just going to keep putting it in front of us. Just going to keep putting it in front of us. One quickie. I got two more quick topics and I'm done, Batman. It's not going to take long. Keith, do we have that headline on the National Guard in Illinois? I don't know if I gave that to you. Thank you, my brother. This is starting to happen, and watch this. I've been waiting for this to happen. Two Illinois National Guard members last week began speaking out and began saying and said that, you know what, I'm not going to turn against my neighbors, my community members. If Trump orders us into a state and orders us to do things against my neighbors, I'm not going to do it. Two National Guard members in Illinois publicly speaking up. I've been waiting for this kind of thing to happen. And there's been little sparks here and there. Members of ICE quietly speaking up. I don't like what we're doing. I'm not comfortable with what we're doing. We were told that we were going to go after violent criminals. We're going into Home Depot parking lots and grabbing day laborers. I'm not comfortable with this. Members of ICE are whispering. Now, the big concern is all the new ICE people that Trump is hiring, man, they're like, they got issues themselves. Like they love doing this shit. But you've got certain ICE members quietly speaking out. And now we've got members of the National Guard beginning to put this stuff out. It's a good thing. And it needs to be encouraged. Thank you, Keith. Because this guy in the White House is dead set on using our military on our streets all over this country next year to incite violence, destruction, and chaos. That's Trump's plan. Yeah. He's the one who wants violence on our streets, and he wants to use the military to do it. Why? Because he wants to fuck with the elections and maybe even call the elections off. And he wants to create the feeling in America like, oh my God, the left is out of control. Look at all the violence and rioting and looting and destruction, when his plan is he and his military are the ones who are going to do it. So to get members of the military, members of the National Guard, maybe Marines, members of ICE beginning to speak out, it's a good thing. Let's watch it. Let's encourage it. Last quick point. Look, I don't laugh about Trump's out there talking about running for a third term. Trump's out there talking about, I'd love to do it. Trump's out there saying, I haven't ruled it out. I don't laugh at this. I don't think it's funny. I don't dismiss it. This is fucking wrong. He should be impeached for doing it. Constitutionally, he cannot run unless you amend the 22nd Amendment, amend the Constitution. He cannot run for president again. I don't think we as a people should take it as a joke, should laugh at it. He should be condemned for it. Don't you dare say that. You who would take a blowtorch to the Constitution. But Democrats, my fellow Democrats, man, fight. For instance, Trump now and his people now, they've been out there now for months talking about Trump running for a third term. He can't do it constitutionally, but he's out there talking about it. Steve Bannon's out there talking about it. Others are out there talking about it. You know what I think, Democrats? Fucking A, man. Are you in this? My fellow Democrats, are you in this to win? Are you going to fight? You're just gonna let Trump put shit like that out there into the ether, right? Remember what Trump did in 2020 before the election? Before the election, Trump kept saying the election's going to be stolen. If I lose, it will be stolen. It's because it was stolen. Trump kept saying shit like that. He kept putting it out there before the 2020 election. Democrats didn't say shit about it. And then Trump lost. And all of that, Trump did all of that before the election to piss off his voters and lead to January 6th. Don't do the same thing again, Democrats. He's out there doing the same thing again now, talking about run for third term. So Democrats, you got to fight back. We got to fight back. You know what Democrats should do right now? You know what Barack Obama should do right now? I'm serious. Barack Obama should come out and publicly say, you know what? I'd like to run for a third term. I mean it. Barack Obama should publicly say, you know, I thought about running. I'd love to be president for another term. Doggone it, I haven't ruled out running for a third term. I'm serious. Obama ought to put that out there. Fight, Democrats. Give them what for, man. Punch them back like they punch. Trump's out there trying to normalize this whole thing that he could run again. Barack Obama should put himself out there and say, fuck it. I won't rule out a third term. Give them what they put out there. Give them a taste of their own medicine. Make my former political party respond to that. Make them laugh at that. Like if Obama came out and said, you know what, I might run again. I might run for a third term. I want to see Republicans say he can't do that. Oh, he can't. That's against the Constitution. He can't do that. Throw this shit back in Republicans' faces. My God, my new political party. Republicans will do anything to win. My fellow Democrats, what are you prepared to do? What are you prepared to do? Barack Obama, get out there and say, I haven't ruled out a third term. Force Republicans to respond to that. Fight fire with fire. I'm done, Keith. I'm spent. I'm still in a bad mood. Subscribe to my Substack. I ask you this every day. I ask for one thing every day. It's a lonely thing trying to keep my voice out there everywhere I go. If you're looking for one concrete way to support keeping my voice out there, if you find value in this voice, the best thing you can do is subscribe to my Substack. Everything I say, do, think about, and write is on my Substack. Social Contract with joewalsh.substack.com. Thank you. By the way, shoot me an email about anything that's on your mind. The Social Contract with Joe Walsh at gmail.com. All one word, The Social Contract with Joe Walsh at gmail.com. Love ya. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow The Social Contract with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been The Social Contract